The Pope, Master of the 7 Stars, is here to share a guide on how to fully utilize Regina after doing a couple of test runs with her. As per usual, I'm not your typical YouTuber who judges a unit like those bozo YouTubers you watch. What you get here is a compendious and comprehensive guide on every unit I decide to cover, and Regina deserves it. I'm sure you're wondering why I didn't cover Charlotte, and the answer is very simple. She's a basic bitch. What? There's nothing fancy about her, and even a left curve dumb fuck can build her godlike just by slamming their fastest gear on her. But that's enough of that. It's time to talk about Regina, and to show me you are not going to left curve this information I'm gonna give you, destroy the like button, subscribe, and smash that noti bell. Done? Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the show.
Now, if you read my tweet I posted when they announced Regina, I said they purposely released a mage in order to boost Charlotte's stonks. And my suspicions were right, because I have unmatched perspicacity. Lo and behold, we get ourselves another wizard subclass. But what made me decide to dedicate a guide for Regina is simply the unique capabilities Regina brings to RTA. She is not PvE friendly, and you have many other units who can handle PvE for you. This game is a PvP focused game. Accept it or go play Dislike, cause that's all your idiot brain can handle. So why is Regina different as a wizard? Let's start from the beginning. Generally speaking, when you're assessing how a unit is going to function, the first thing you look at is the class and subclass. For example, when you see a bruiser subclass, you can expect the unit to be rather slow, hard-hitting, tanky, and high evasion. If you see a tactician, you can expect the unit to have the highest base speed, have some bulk, and their kit is going to do something that benefits the team. For wizards, you expect the glass cannon with fuck all defense and health, ridiculous firepower, and access to some of the most busted DPS gear currently available in the game. So naturally, seeing Regina as a wizard would naturally incline you to build her like Ame or D'Este, who will just wipe your team if they get a turn. But that's where she differs, and to discuss this, let's take a look at her skills. Her S1 on paper just sounds like the most basic attack you can find on a unit. Heck, it's the same as Dahlia's with a slight sprinkle of evasion as a contributor to your damage output. Sure, fine, I'll take it. What else? But that's not where the strength lies in this skill. It lies in her S2. Now, this is where shit gets tasty as getting the chance to tap Regina ass first. Regina's S2 grants her a passive called Regina's Woe that mitigates 300% of the damage taken. That literally solves the whole wizard predicament where you just die if a fly lands on them. This guarantees, hear me clearly, guarantees Regina a turn. Oh, and to make that guarantee a double guarantee, she counterattacks with her S1 as long as this skill is up and cools down her S3 by 1 turn. So what happens here? 3 things. Not only does she guarantee a turn, she counterattacks, potentially nuking a unit from the interaction, and then she gets a 30% priority boost. This skill in itself makes her unique enough to warrant a video to be made to impart my infinite knowledge and wisdom to you. Mind you, this skill has a ridiculous cooldown time, so hypothetically speaking, if you run Regina with, I don't know, Sterbby, this will get reset, ready to fuck your opponent's day up again.
Yeah, boy.
Now, her S3 is not something to be laughed at. It's a full strip attack that ignores 30% of your opponent's defense while scaling with evasion and reapplying 2 stacks of Regina's World. What makes this skill insane is the fact that it strips before attacking. Let me paint a picture for you so you understand the potency of this skill. We all know how fucking annoying Epsilon is when she S3 and puts up invincibility, right? Guess what? Because Regina is definitely getting a turn, all she has to do is press S3 and target Epsilon, and she will PP poof from the battlefield very quickly. TLDR, you are not safe, motherfucker. Regina is coming for you. Now that we understand what her skills do, let's talk about how she's unique, especially in RTA. I know if you're watching my channel, you enjoy RTA. All my content revolves around PvP and RTA, and if you're not one who enjoys it and still watches me, you sir are a G.
My man!
In RTA, Regina opens up a new drafting strategy to fight against Cleave. This is important because Cleave needs their entire team to do 1 or 2 rotations to completely dismember your team. Now with Regina in the mix, not only does she put a stop to these shenanigans by killing off a unit and stealing priority, She just does not die. Fighting Cleave is all about surviving the onslaught of barrage attack and taking a turn. With Regina around, Cleavers now need to decide if letting Regina through is a risk worth taking. If it isn't, then they may need to waste their ban on her.
No, God!
Regina also opens up options for standard players like me who are the masters of adapting during a draft. From the 150 games I played in RTA, I did notice a lack of good options for DPS that answer certain drafts, and while I am able to win those games regardless, I can definitely see how a pleb would struggle to find a DPS to win. Thanks to Regina's world, Regina is actually a bruiser masquerading as a wizard. If you build Regina right, just like how you should treat your lady right, she will do wonders for you. Accidentally drop too many AoE against Regina? You're about to eat a counterattack. Trying to CC Regina while her S2 is up? She's gonna go all Harry Houdini on your ass and cleanse that debuff and smack you. Well, that's all well and good, but I'm sure you're wondering how to build her after hearing me say treat your lady right? Well then, let me share my thought process on how to build her, and let's start with her armor. In order to make sure that we get our turn and punish these imbeciles who want to cheese the win through stuns and freeze, I believe immunity set is a must-have on Regina. With Dahlia entering the meta, it is a no-brainer that more units that possess incapacitation abilities will come in the future. So why not future-proof ourselves by gearing Regina with immunity? Cool, you agree with me, and you should, because I'm the top P, and the P stands for professional. What about the other two pieces to complement it? Well, I'm glad you asked. In my opinion, counterattack set is by far the best at slot. Why? Well, think about it. You start with Regina's world, you get one free counterattack, and hopefully, by the time your second Regina's world wears off, you would have taken the turn. You S3 and reapply another 2 turns of Regina's world. Now, you have 2 chances with Regina's world to counterattack and push a priority in order to gain her turn 30% faster and cool down her skill too. And if you're a G like me and purposely build her rather tanky, you will have till your Regina kicks the bucket to counterattack and potentially fuck them over. At this point, it is up to your opponent if they want to play Russian roulette. Make sense? Of course it does. Moving on. Now I'll start with the necklace of choice. Spirit of Unification is the best necklace for Regina. Attack buff at the start of the turn, crit damage and penetration main stat. Need I go on? No. Don't try and be spicy. You're not smart enough for that. For her weapon, you have 3 options. You can go with Thumping Knuckle Duster, the tried and true weapon for every wizard we have had to date, Last Hope to make your counterattack hurt like a bitch, or Sublime Melody to stun your opponent on counter, or if your damage sucks and you don't kill them with an S3. All 3 are fantastic choices. You want attack percent main stat regardless of which route you go with, and with all 3 choices it pairs very well with counter set. Just remember, fortune favors the prepared mind, and what I'm doing is preparing you guys for it. Okay, listen. I know you enjoy massive damage numbers. Something about big numbers just makes you giggle like a little girl. But if Regina cannot take a hit or 2 without her buff up, what good is she? I've built mine tankier for that reason, and I believe that you should too, regardless if you're using her to cleave or to bruise. If you're not building her because you don't have her, then my question to you is this: what the fuck are you doing?